Have you ever noticed how the world feels different after 10 p.m.? The air turns quieter, thoughts become softer, and a strange peace begins to fill the night. It's as if something sacred awakens when the world sleeps. Yogic masters have long taught that these silent hours between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. are not ordinary. They are the hours of soul connection, when the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds grows thin. Science too whispers the same truth, that in this window, a small gland deep inside your brain begins to glow with activity, the pineal gland, often called the third eye. But what is this mysterious organ? Why did saints, sages, and even modern philosophers call it the seat of the soul? And how can understanding its function transform your life, physically, mentally, and spiritually? Stay with me, dear seeker. Together, we will travel beyond biology, into a union of science and spirit, where ancient wisdom meets modern light. Nestled deep in the very center of your brain lies a small, pinecone-shaped gland, the pineal gland. Barely 8 millimeters long, it has fascinated philosophers, mystics, and scientists for centuries. Physically, it belongs to the endocrine system, the network of glands that regulates your body's hormones. The pineal gland's main task is to produce melatonin, the hormone that governs your sleep cycle and internal rhythm. But beyond its biological function, ancient mystics recognized it as a spiritual organ, the third eye, or Agya Chakra, as described in yogic scriptures. Yogananda often spoke of this center as the point where the human mind touches divine consciousness. He said, when the devotee's attention is lifted to the point between the eyebrows, he enters the inner light where spirit is perceived. This location is no accident. It sits at the midpoint between the brain's hemispheres, the perfect meeting place of intuition and logic, heart and intellect, spirit and matter. Modern imaging has even shown that the pineal gland is sensitive to light, like a tiny biological eye hidden within the brain. Ancient Egyptians depicted it as the eye of Horus, symbolizing divine perception. And yogis of India called it the spiritual eye, a portal between the limited human and the infinite self. So this humble gland, often overlooked, may be far more than tissue and hormones. It is a bridge between worlds, linking the physical and the mystical, the eye that sees the unseen. Between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m., the body enters its most silent and restorative state. This is when the pineal gland awakens. In complete darkness, it begins to release melatonin, the hormone that signals the body it's time to rest, heal, and renew. Melatonin slows down your thoughts, relaxes the nervous system, and synchronizes your body's inner clock. But on a subtler level, it prepares the mind for inner awareness, for meditation, lucid dreaming, or the gentle whispers of intuition. In yogic philosophy, these hours are sacred. The early part of the night, 10 p.m. to midnight, is for letting go of the day's energy. The later hours, closer to 3 a.m., are known as the Brahma Muhurta, the hour of the Creator. It is said that divine vibrations are strongest then, and the mind most receptive. Modern studies confirm that deep sleep during these hours supports emotional balance, brain repair, and immune health. Spiritually, Yogananda taught that in the stillness of night, God's presence can be felt like a vast ocean of peace. So when you sit quietly or sleep deeply between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m., your pineal gland becomes a cosmic transmitter, connecting your inner consciousness with the greater field of universal intelligence. If you miss this natural rhythm, by staying in bright light, scrolling screens, or overthinking, you interrupt that sacred dialogue. But if you honor it, sleep becomes meditation, and night becomes a temple of divine renewal. The pineal gland performs a delicate alchemy between light, hormones, and consciousness. During daylight, it converts tryptophan from food into serotonin, a neurotransmitter that uplifts mood, regulates memory, and keeps you emotionally balanced. As darkness descends, serotonin transforms into melatonin, the hormone of stillness and inner harmony. Yogananda described this shift beautifully. When the senses rest and the mind becomes calm, the soul perceives its own light. In other words, as the body surrenders to darkness, the inner light begins to shine. Melatonin doesn't only regulate sleep, it is also a powerful antioxidant and anti-aging molecule, protecting your brain and body from stress and free radicals. But spiritually, melatonin acts as a natural aid for higher perception. It silences the chatter of the outer mind so you can sense the subtle energy of the divine. When artificial lights, screens, or late-night stimulation interfere, this sacred chemistry is disturbed. That's why yogis encourage dimming lights and withdrawing from noise after sunset, to let the pineal gland do its inner work unhindered. Serotonin and melatonin together form the bridge between wakefulness and transcendence. One governs joy in the world, the other governs peace beyond it. Balancing them creates not just better sleep, but an awakened consciousness that flows with both energy and serenity. This is the true science of stillness, a harmony of body, mind, and spirit achieved through alignment with nature's rhythm. In spiritual traditions across the world, the pineal gland has always symbolized the third eye, the seat of intuition, insight, and inner sight. When this gland becomes active, awareness expands beyond the five senses. You begin to see energy, truth, and meaning that logic alone cannot grasp. Paramahansa Yogananda often described the spiritual eye as a ring of golden light encircling a deep blue field with a radiant white star at its center. This vision, seen during deep meditation, is not imagination, it is the luminous doorway to the soul. Through the awakened pineal gland, one perceives higher realities, divine guidance, subtle intuition, and the sense of oneness with all beings. The mind becomes calm, and a soft radiance appears within the forehead, as if a new sense has opened. In yogic practice, focusing awareness at the point between the eyebrows helps direct life force upward from the body into the brain, awakening this center. When consciousness rises through the spine to the pineal region, ordinary thoughts dissolve into superconscious awareness. Science now observes that meditation increases blood flow and oxygen in the pineal gland, enhancing its vitality. Yogis discovered this centuries ago, not through microscopes, but through inner experience. The third eye, therefore, is not a symbol of mystery, it's an inner instrument of divine perception. Through it, you begin to live from a higher dimension, guided by intuition, not intellect, by love, not fear. It is, in truth, the eye of the soul. If you wish to awaken your pineal gland and experience its divine power, you must learn to live in harmony with light, silence, and awareness. Here are a few sacred practices inspired by Yogananda's teachings. Embrace night silence, reduce exposure to artificial light after 9 p.m. Let darkness naturally signal your pineal gland to awaken. Meditate before sleep, sit comfortably. Close your eyes and gently focus your attention at the point between your eyebrows, without strain. Feel peace spreading through your mind. Practice deep breathing, pranayama. Breathe slowly and deeply. Conscious breathing oxygenates the brain and energizes the pineal gland. Absorb morning sunlight. Early sunlight balances melatonin and serotonin. Yogananda advised early rising as a spiritual tonic. Keep the heart pure. Emotional calmness and devotion open the third eye more effectively than force or technique. When practiced regularly, these habits tune your inner rhythm to the cosmic rhythm. The pineal gland becomes balanced, sleep becomes deep, and meditation effortless. Gradually, flashes of light, intuition, or deep peace may arise during meditation, signs that this gland is awakening. Remember, the goal is not to chase mystical experiences, but to cultivate stillness and devotion. As Yogananda said, be calmly active and actively calm. That is the way to open the inner door. When you live in harmony with nature's design, the divine eye opens on its own, gently, naturally, and with grace. When your pineal gland awakens, the experience of night transforms. Sleep becomes meditation, and dreams become sacred messages. You begin to perceive light even in darkness, not with the outer eyes, but with the inner soul. This is the expansion of consciousness, the realization that you are not merely a body or a bundle of thoughts, but a spark of the infinite. You start sensing the interconnectedness of all life. Compassion deepens. Intuition sharpens. Fear dissolves. In these moments, the third eye no longer feels symbolic, it is a living awareness. Yogananda taught that when this eye is open, one sees the universe as a play of divine light. Such perception changes everything. You begin to respond to life not from reaction, but from understanding. Physically, this awakening enhances mental clarity and emotional stability. Spiritually, it reveals the truth that has always been within you, that the same light which shines through the stars shines through your soul. Between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m., when the world rests and the cosmic field is silent, the gateway opens. If you meditate, pray, or simply sit in gratitude during these hours, your pineal gland becomes a sacred lamp, and consciousness begins to glow from within. Through this awakening, the seeker becomes the knower, the soul remembers its divine origin. This is the essence of spiritual life, to awaken, not somewhere else, but right here, within yourself. So, dear soul, when night descends and the stars shimmer above, remember, this is not just the end of your day, it is the beginning of your awakening. Within your brain lies a silent temple, the pineal gland, waiting to reveal the boundless light of spirit. Honor it with silence, protect it from distraction, and let its radiance guide you home. As Paramahansa Yogananda said, the more you meditate, the more you will feel the vastness within you, a vastness that no night can darken. If this message spoke to your heart, share it with another seeker. Together, may we create a world where the inner light shines brighter than any outer darkness. Jai Gurudev.